We're going to pick up with the yantra. Let's see. Next thing is to do the petals. So what I might do is a little bit of erasing first. Sometimes it's good to take away the really hard black lines with the pencil. And then we'll mix the paint. We'll mix the paint color. So I wanted to say something about the orange while I'm erasing. The orange it's said to produce an opposite color inside your body, which is pale blue color. And this blue color signifies a very peaceful feeling in the higher chakras, in the higher energy centers. So it's kind of interesting. It's like it lifts you up out of your lower energy, gets you in touch with your power, but then it takes you up to the higher energy centers and produces a very peaceful feeling. Oftentimes in India especially, but in all places where you see people who have renounced life and they're spending a holy life, they may be wearing orange clothing. So some of this is this idea of sublimating your lower desires with these higher, peaceful, less worldly aspirations. So that was my thought about that. Just wanted to convey. Alright, so once you feel like there's nothing too dark there, we can move on. And today we're going to be mixing a reddish color. So the red color is going to be, let's see, we could do it here. This is the petal color. So I often like to bring a little bit of the main color over. See that? And then I'm going to find a red that I like. I really like this pinky red. It's called primary red. So maybe I'll mix a little pinky red and usually end up putting a little white in these colors. And let's see, there's another red here called spectrum red, which is a little bit more orange. I'm not sure yet if we're going to need that. Then the very centers of the petals, they're going to be a little bit darker. So this is called alizarin crimson. We might end up using that for the dark centers. Alright, so let's see how we do. Let's start with this pinky red. And a little bit of white. It's like the force of Durga. Not looking too dark yet, is it? Ah. Kind of a great color already. Okay, so this is I think this is going to be fine. It's a very rich red, isn't it? That's the red of the petals. And then we're going to have a darker color yet, darker color still. Maybe mix these two together here. For the very centers. So the lotus petals have a little center seed color. So there are my colors. So you can experiment with the oranges and reds and find one that you like. I've decided to go with a kind of orangey palette today. So let me start by showing you what I'm going to be painting on. One of the tricks to getting a nice point when you're painting is to not press too hard. See? If I go up here now, I don't press too hard, I have a nice point, even though it's a big brush. That way you don't have to keep changing your brush. You know, you don't have to use the small one for the corners. You can just keep working with the same brush. All right. And then we're going to go back to the darker color. So this is going to be the color I'm going to use on the centers. Let's just make sure it's dark enough. Sometimes you have to add a little bit of something for contrast. So let's see. Okay, so let's try this one. Again, you want to get a nice point with your paintbrush before you do these seeds, lotus seeds. So I think that's going to be okay. Just contrasting enough. The idea of these seeds is that they draw your eye towards the center. Everything in these yantras is about the center. So we'll do this one, then we'll do the little space in between. It's like a tiny triangle. All right. Sometimes after doing the red, I get out my compass and redraw that circle. The paint really loves those pencil lines, so it'll be much neater if I do this. More satisfying. So I'm going to draw the circle. Once I have this circle, I'm going to prepare the gold and white paint. So there are these 3 rings. I might as well do all of them. The 3 rings. The past, present, and future. Let's see. These are actually beautiful because they're gold. All right. So now let's look at the colors we're going to use. We're going to have 2 colors. The first is going to be gold. I think I'm going to put gold. Let's put gold in here. So when we mix gold, we just add a little water. We don't add any white or anything. So white and water. Oh gosh, gold and water. Gold and water. Gold gouache and water. Sometimes you can find metallic pens or metallic, even metallic coloring pencils these days. Super nice, the gold and the Yantra. The gold is also going to be at the bindu at the end. I think because of that red color underneath, I might end up doing 2 layers of gold, 2 on the gold rings, 3 gold rings, okay? And then I'm going to switch paintbrushes and do white here. So white with the other water. So then I can alternate when I get to the rings without getting up. So let's see. White also is just water. White gouache paint and water till it's pretty thin consistency. All right. So now I'm ready to start in with the gold. You notice I have this piece of paper always. This is to stop my hand smudging the paint. Also, it's to stop the sweat and grease off my hands getting onto the painting. So 2 reasons. So yeah, see here at the beginning, there's some extra red. So I'm going to end up doing 2 coats just to cover that nicely. Just breathing, not pressing too hard with my paintbrush. Keeping a nice point. See here, you're going to feel how helpful it was to redraw those circles. So we do the last gold ring.